Hey yo, what's the vibe? It's your boy Tarai, T Spice, Suku Productions. You know what it is. And in this video, I'm gonna give y'all a little tutorial on how to add a watermark to Luminar so you could add it to your photos and also possibly do some batch processing through this method. If you like it, hit that subscribe. If you don't, maybe still hit that subscribe. You know how it is. It's your boy. Keep it spicy. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and opened up Luminar 4, which is essential for the first part of this batch processing slash watermarking, because Luminar AI it doesn't allow you to insert a image as a layer when you're doing editing. So in order to save a template, you need basically a photo that's already joined with your watermark to add as a texture for Luminar AI. But so the first thing we're gonna do is open up Luminar 4, which I've already done, and import a file size based on the resolution of the file which you're gonna be dealing with. So in this instance, I have a bunch of files from my drone, which are 400 times 300 pixels for the resolution. So I took a blank photo of a 400 by 300 resolution file using my drone, just held it up to the screen, and now we're gonna add my logo to this blank image and then kind of use it as a texture layer on Luminar AI and then save it as a template to batch process it. Okay, so you have your blank image, which is the first thing that you need. Now you're gonna go for Luminar 4.3. You're gonna go to this one with the layers. Okay, you are going to add a new image layer, and for me these are my watermarks. Now my watermarks, they are basically black and white, and it's going to, you know, not pop out as much on images with a lot of color, but that's fine. I enjoy this watermark. Okay, now I'm going to do layer transform. I'm going to kind of put it where I want it to be in these photos, so kind of imagining where it will look good, even sometimes if I may have to crop a little bit of the photo. So maybe somewhere around here, or like just here, somewhere bottom right for me usually works fine. So I am going to put this right here. Okay, let's not rotate, let's try to keep it straight. Alright, and then let's see, we're not really gonna crop. No, we're not gonna crop. We're just gonna transform. Like I said, done. Let's see. So, okay, so we have it right around here. Now, what we're gonna do is combine these two layers, okay, to basically make one full layer. Now, why this is important is because once again, we want a basically a uniform image at a specific resolution with your layer. Now, or with your watermark, I should say. Now, for this blank image, I'm gonna try to just make it a little bit more white all around, so you'll see why in a minute. just to kind of add to uniformity. Okay, back to our layer. Let's turn it on. Okay, a lot better. Now we are going to how do we do this? We are going to do a alright, just double checking. We're going to do a create stamp layer. There it is. So what this is doing is creating one image from these two images, one with the watermark and the other with the blank white image, and then we are going to get rid of these. We could turn this off. We could go ahead and delete this layer and delete this layer, which is not letting us do it, but we have our stamp layer. And now with this stamp layer, we are going to export it. Okay, just for posterity, I'm going to just export it to my desktop. And I'm going to call it stamped DJI picture layer 4000. So I know it's 4000 by 3000. And it's fine. You can leave it as a PNG, I believe. It should work just as fine. I'm going to export it. Alright, let's go to desktop. Okay, now that you have your stamped layer, you should be completely done with using the Luminar 4 side of it. Should be able to exit this for now and open up Luminar AI. Okay, we could get rid of this. Now let's open up our folder with all our drone shots. So I'm just gonna go here, go back to my photos, winter, and open up my droney folder. I'm gonna import all the photos we have from that day. I'm just gonna start off with, let's start off with this one. Now for Luminar AI, they try to make it a little bit easier with the editing and the templates. What we're gonna do to import our stamped image layer, we're gonna go to local masking, we're gonna add, and then we're gonna hit texture. So this is where in Luminar 4 you could add a complete image layer, but for Luminar AI it comes through as a texture. So now we're gonna load texture. We're gonna go to our desktop. We're gonna open our stamp picture layer. Now it should layer like this. So as you can see, your layer, your watermark is right, where you wanted it specifically for this resolution. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna completely you're going to leave the opacity like it is for now. First we have to change the blending type. So for my case, because I have a black and white watermark, I have to find one that blends for that specific type of overlay. So usually multiply or darken works fine. So it gets rid of all the whites and leaves the blacks. So I'm going to keep multiply. I'm going to keep multiply, and then I'm going to play with the opacity. Okay, so there we go. Opacity right at the end. You could zoom out a little bit, which I didn't know. That's cool. But we kind of want to keep it at 0 so it matches specifically. Because then that would just cause a little bit of a discrepancy. Okay, so now that you have it, for your photo, as you can see right here, what you can do, and which this is where the batch processing kind of comes in handy, is once you have that overlay with your watermark, you could go ahead, click down here where it says my template, and to the right you could hit save. Now what it's doing, it's saving your whatever edits you made to this picture. In this case, I added the textured layer, and it's allowing me to save it as a template. So when I go to templates and I go to this little star icon for my collection, I would have it as my template edit. So, and this is specifically for file sizes 4,000 megapixels, 4,000 by 3,000 pixel resolution. So now that we have it done to 1, what you can do is go to your catalog, and you could either hit Control-C, or you could have the template selected on one and then do it that way, but I usually just do the Control-C and then highlight all the others. So you could shift it, and then Control-V. Now what it's going to do is batch process so that whatever is on here is going to be matched to all these others. Okay, so just like that, on all 23 images, we now have our logo. And then what we can do from here is, hit the edit, and just like any other photo, we can enhance anything that Luminar does, because this is just a textured layer. This is not really changing any of the posterity of the image. We can enhance the sky, change the composition, play with our lighting, bring the exposure down, and that's why it was so important to have a completely white stamped layer, because if there were any types of other colors or anything else, that could interfere with what the editing process is. So you could do whatever you like for the picture, and at the end export it, and it would have whatever your logo is. So if you hit there for the before preview, after, before, after. Now if you wanted to hit this specific value for your maybe like 5-6 images, you do something similarly. Once you added your texture, this and that, you could save it as a template, or even just have it here and then go to catalog and then Control-C, copy and paste it, and then you would have this specific color scheme for whatever it is that you create. Now I'm not sure there are any other methods that people use for batch processing or watermarking for Luminar. I haven't seen a lot of content out there talking about it, but this is just one of the methods that I'm familiar with using and I use. I've had a few people ask me about it, and I really just wanted to make a video showing you guys quickly how I do it and how you could easily do it and watermark your images. Alright, if you guys like this video, want me to make more, please subscribe, share, comment, leave some feedback, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.